Greetings. Welcome to the Asana lab on downward facing dog. So we start by thinking of what's the geometrical form we're trying to make. And so it's a neutral pelvis, neutral spine position on the diagonal. And so so you have to have enough control to be able to tilt your pelvis to neutral and then the spine flowing out from that. And so it's a middle position, that neutral. And one side of the middle could be this kind of more back arched position, and the other side is a more rounded position. All right, and so getting control over your body to be able to really define that line is a challenge. So we'll spend a little bit of time with that. So the easiest place to get that feeling is in the cat-cow. All right, and so this is almost like a version of downward dog. So there's the kind of flexed spine, rounded side of the middle, and then here's the arched side of the middle, and then there's the neutral middle. And so you can do a nice version of downward dog on your knees. Walk the hands forward and the feet back until you're fully stretched out and you have a vertical thigh bone. And so you kind of play with that like a little cat-cow type exercise. So tip the pelvis forward and dip the spine down and go the other way. Tip the pelvis backward and flex the spine. And then to find the middle, you plant your hands and brace your arms. Okay, and so then slowly kind of lower yourself with control onto that middle line, tipping the pelvis a medium amount, keeping the ribs, the front ribs sucked up. And if you're able to see me, so there's the slight dip down, which you're trying to kind of stabilize more at neutral, even though your spine does release down. Okay, and then if you're up here, kind of rounded, trying to lift and separate the sitting bones and slowly drop the spinal column head down. Okay, so when you're working with that middle, if you have tight hamstrings, then you're going to be above it. You're going to be in that more flexion position. And so the most common option for working with that is to bend the knees, right? So when you're doing your downward dog, instead of having the pelvis tucked under and the back rounded, you would bend your knees, get some freedom to tip the pelvis onto that diagonal line and free your spine. But to me, a equal or better option to bending the knees is to elevate the arms. Okay, so the higher you go, the easier it gets to straighten your legs and achieve that nice neutral pelvic position. So you want to be able to test it out in your body and kind of a little tiny cat-cow exercise. And if you're rounded, you're fully extend your legs and see if you can lift and separate the sitting bones and kind of release your spine, that whole column down to that middle axis. Okay, and then if you're more flexible, then you're going to be, your kind of work will be to brace your arms and kind of stabilize your body so you don't just keep going down past the middle. You've got to create that resistance, okay? And so one nice way to create the resistance is to start above the middle, kind of almost a little bit going towards plank, and then brace the arms, like plant the hands and really strengthen the arms, and then lower your head and spine by pressing the thighs back and kind of lengthening the distance between your arms and legs. And then slowly let the spine kind of drop down to find that middle line. And then you could repeat. So come up above the line, stamp the hands, brace the arms, then root the legs back. Okay, and then once you achieve that middle line, you've got a nice feeling for that. Then work with that one pair of opposites, the stamping the hands and pressing down and forward as you root the thighs back. So it's a kind of lengthening process where you're from vertebra by vertebra, from tail to head, you're lengthening out and feeling like a suspension bridge cable, your spine. And your arms and legs are the wonderful support to that cable. So there's full extension through both the legs and the arms. There's bracing power through the legs and arms. The pelvis tips forward until it gets to neutral on that diagonal line. And then spinal length. To get the head position, keep your ears in between your upper arm bones. So not looking towards the navel too strongly or lifting your head. So it's right in a medium position. And then the gaze, it can be somewhere between the legs. And the higher up you go, then the more it goes towards the Nabhi chakra, which is the classic drishti. But you don't want to go for that drishti too fast. It's actually quite challenging to keep your nice head spine position and look at your navel. There you have it. The downward dog is one of, if you had to only take 5 asanas to a deserted island, that would be pretty much number 1 on my list, right up there. And so remember, when you're doing your vinyasas, your jump back and jump through between seated asanas, you can stop in that downward dog once in a while and really enjoy that position like a samastitihi. Define it and take your time with it. It's a wonderful all combination. So it's an inversion, it's an upper body strength pose, it's a forward bend, kind of a hamstring flexibility pose, shoulder opener, and an excellent meditation seat. Namaste.